Welcome to the Boomer Technician Channel. Today we're headed for Winslow, Arizona. Why Winslow? Well, they're on the original Route 66, so they've got a bit of automotive history there. They're immortalized in that Eagles song, Take It Easy, about the gal in the flatbed Ford. And they're a shorter drive for me than Phoenix. So when I saw they had a show this week, decided to run on down. Don't know a whole lot about it. The flyer seems to indicate the show's been going on for a number of years. They've got quite a few activities on Friday, which is this afternoon. And then the main show's on the main street tomorrow, Saturday. So we'll head down and see if it's as good as the flyer promises. And next time I talk to you, I should be in Winslow. Here we are in Winslow that Friday night. A little dark for filming, so I ended up parking the Soul Survivor in a space for the morning, and I headed over to my hotel, and we'll pick it up again in the morning. Well, we're leaving the hotel, which isn't burned in any way. If you want to see a burned hotel, you need to check out my Wichita video. It's about 7:40 in the morning, and we're headed downtown for the car show, which doesn't start for a little while, but we had to park the car down there so that we had a spot in a good place this morning, which is okay. It's about a 2-mile walk, so kind of a good way to start out the day, get some exercise in, and enjoy the bright desert sun and the cool desert breeze, and we'll see how the day goes. So looking forward to seeing some good cars. And here we are in downtown Winslow, where they're very proud of both the Route 66 and that Eagles tune, Take It Easy. We've got some fantastic cars, starting with this late 50s Cadillac, followed by a late 60s Mercury. I believe that's a Marauder with a 428. We've got a little Cougar here. I've always liked those cars. Followed by this big Grand Prix Coupe with the side skirts. And this Vista Cruiser is rather interesting. It handily won the long distance award because they came in from Maryland, which I'm pretty sure is at least a 3-day drive out of Winslow, but great looking car. Followed by a 70 Mustang, always a fan of those, and a little orange custom coupe. I'm assuming the local craftsman put that together. And then we've got this T-Bucket with some skeletons for Halloween. And we've got this white Chevy, what looks like an Impala, but it's a 2-door coupe, not a hardtop. So I'm thinking this is a 2-door Bel Air. Very nice car. And then as part of the Winslow experience, we've got this old Texaco station right in the center of town. The Soul Survivor was very nearby. Then we've got this Plymouth wagon. I didn't get a good look at it, but I'm guessing it's a big block. And here's another V8. This is a 37 Ford and appears to be a very original car or a restoration, but very clean. And something a little different. Here's a Gremlin. It's a Levi's model. I talked to the owner, and it's very original, right down to that big straight 6 under the hood. And in terms of the cars of that generation, we've got this Vega. No longer a 4-cylinder, but actually was the 1971 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Pretty sure this Nash Metropolitan was never Car of the Year, but it does have a very nicely finished engine bay. To match up with a nicely finished car show, here's a street view of some of the cars right here on Route 66, including this lovely Chevy convertible. I believe it's a 66. And then we've got a Bug convertible of indeterminate age covering the convertibles. And here's an Olds Indianapolis pace car. And as we zoom into the engine bay, you can see that upright oil filler tells us it's a true rocket V8. Here's a Rat school bus. Sure. And a 58 Chevy 4-door. So another Bel Air, I'm guessing. Along with a Model A and a Model T. And around the corner, one of those flatbed Fords we heard about from the Eagles. And here's a Ford of about the same vintage, but in a little better shape. This is a Lovely little truck. I believe it was a show winner. And another possible show winner, Olds Cutlass. And we're going to wrap things up with this very nice Plymouth Superbird, and then take a look at the event registration tent, the event presentation stage, and the local vendors. We're going to look at some trophies, and then we're going to hear from George Gould, who was one of the folks, one of the locals putting on the show. And he'll talk a little bit about what it's like to be in Winslow, Arizona.
Hi, my name's George Gould. I'm living in Winslow, Arizona. We do this car show. I'm from Just Cruis'n Car Club here in Winslow, Arizona. Slow Life Car Club helps us out. The town's about 8,500. Once a year we do this show the first Saturday of the month in October. We're usually blessed with reasonably good weather. It's not your normal Arizona heat, so it's pretty nice out. Today we have, right now, well over 200 cars. We do get permission from the city to close Old Route 66, which is what this is on. So when you're here, it is true Old Route 66. Route 66 is 100 years old the next year. We've put on this show for 30 years, and we've grown from probably 40, 50 cars to this. Our town really enjoys it. It's a 2-day show. We have a live band on Friday, burnout contest. And then Saturdays is just a show, which is voter participant. And most of it is sponsored by the local merchants here, so we're very grateful for many of them. Everybody from Williams, Flagstaff, Kingman, all the way across Arizona. Route 66 was a very big part of northern Arizona. So, you know, it's a real homage to that old highway.
I'd like to thank George for his efforts, and before we wrap things up, I asked him about some of the local cars, and that sort of lit him off.
I've got a 79 Dodge truck. It's kind of a hot rod, kind of a daily driver. We have everything in our car club, from guys with dragsters to really old flatheads and Model Ts, Model As, different. It's just a variety, and that's what I like about our show. We have a variety of cars. You will see a lot of trucks, roadsters, you'll see all kinds of things here. And you know, I'm kind of stoked that you get to see a lot of the old trucks, the survivors, because back east there are no old trucks. New muscle, old muscle, and true restorations are here. We've even got a Gremlin, and we've got a Kaiser, so you just never know what'll show up.
We're headed home, and really enjoyed our time down in Winslow. Winslow's only about 8,500 people, but they pulled a big crowd there. They had 240, 250 cars, and participants from across Arizona, plus a couple of outliers, such as myself, and I believe it was an Olds Vista Cruiser out of Maryland, of all places. So they made the lengthy trip to Winslow to participate in a Route 66 car show. Next year's the 100th anniversary for the Route 66, so they're talking about possibly doing some pretty big things throughout Arizona for that. So might be something to check out again. I've already checked Arizona off, but no reason why I can't go to 2 Arizona car shows over the span of time. So we'll see. In terms of the Soul Survivor, she's been bulletproof. She's run really well. Haven't had any issues at all, and I've been cruising at 75 at the speed limit the whole time, and it just keeps ticking along. So very happy with the performance so far. We'll see how the next trip goes, but in the meanwhile, stay safe.